Hello, welcome back to my channel. So I stumbled upon this Reddit post right here, and I'm gonna see if I could try this, help this. If I'm gonna see if I could try and help this person out. It reads, um, tech stacks to choose. Hello, I am a student in college trying to learn how to create my own apps, and I'm having a hard time choosing what frameworks to use. I want to make a web app to help me plan trips and want to use Python in some part within the project, but that's all I know. I know a bit of React. Could I use it with Python somehow? Also, any recommendations for tech stacks that are more desirable on a resume would also be super helpful. Thank you for your time. Okay, so this person, it seems like they're confused just as I was. I don't know like how you could combine a different programming language, different programming languages together in a project. So the first thing you have to do, right? It's two separate apps. One is your front end app and your back end app. And let me show you really quick, buddy. I'm not condescending, all right? I was in the same place. I was in the same spot as you were. Okay, let's go to terminal. I already created a example folder right here. So you're gonna create your project folder. All right, weather project. Let's call it weather project. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go inside the weather project. It's hopefully this video is a little bit shorter than my other videos. And in here, right, like I said, two different apps, meaning the back end and front end. So in here, we're gonna create make their back end, and then can I do that front end? So back end and front end. There we go. Our two folders. Now inside your backend, let's go inside the backend. Inside your backend folder, in here you're gonna have your backend logic, correct? Like whoa, you say you want to use Python. I don't write Python. I write a Node.js. I know I shouldn't. Maybe I should start using Python. But anyways, in here you're gonna have like your app.py. Right, well, let's vim into it. Vim app.py. And you're gonna have your I think Python uses these for comments, hashtags for comments, your app, your backend logic. And in your backend logic, you're gonna have like this is your API endpoints, like what do you call it, your store endpoints or whatnot, like your data endpoints, where you store your data, and then your front end makes a call and retrieves the data and sends it back to the front end. So the back end. So your back end logic in here, and then in your back end logic, you have your man, I can't think right now. I'm a little bit nervous. Anyways, you have your HTTP response, correct? Or such as CRUD. There we go, CRUD. So such as your get, all that good stuff. Your get, your post, your update, and your delete. So get, post, update. Well, CRUD, it's create, read, update, and delete. So whatever. That's where your logic is gonna go. Correct? And also remember, in your backend, you have everything like your security stuff, all that good stuff, your authentication, if a user logs in. Yeah, that's where you have all your backend, everything. Where you have your database, where you store your password safely. So the backend takes care of all that stuff, security, and your HTTP endpoints. And then we go back to our main project folder, and then we go into our front end. And here you're gonna have you're gonna have files such as your like index.html. You're gonna have so you're gonna have your index.html files. You're gonna have your app.js, your app.js files, and in here were your styles.css. This is your whole front end app. This is the cute stuff of web development, right? And then from your HTML file, right, you're gonna import your app.js file where you make your calls, your endpoint calls to your backend. And then when it comes to deployment, sorry, I was checking I was on terminal. So when it comes to deployment, you're gonna deploy this separately. Your front end, you're gonna deploy it somewhere like Heroku or anything like that. Oh, your backend, you could deploy it on Heroku too. And you're gonna wanna enable course policy if you're gonna operate on different domains. But your front end, you're gonna deploy it on your domain, right? There's different. You Google it. There's different services for front end deployments, free ones too. And then back end, it's a little tricky. Some you gotta pay for that because to create your own back end space and whatnot. And Amazon has services like that. Heroku has a service too for backend deployment. So yeah, so to summarize, right, you're gonna want a main project folder with your backend folder and your front end folder. Your front end folder could have more folders, assets, whatnot. Backend folder also security, authentication, your CRUD files, whatnot, and to give you advice about a stack, you could use. I do see Python on many companies asking for Python programming for backend. I also see a lot of Java, maybe because of legacy. I'm not sure. And Node.js, I see it but there's a lot of there's a lot of competition with Node.js. So you choose your stack, and then if you use Node.js, you also have to choose your stack, right? If you choose to use Node.js, you use Node, right? And then you could use MongoDB for your database. Nowadays, there's wrappers for SQLite databases, but MongoDB is usually the one to go, the MERN stack, and React for your front end. So anyways, hopefully this video was helpful for a lot of people confused out there like I was at one point. And just take it easy and keep learning.